Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the Move podcast, talking about the final stage of this year's Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, Stage 8. Mel, what did we do?
8e étape, Stage 8. Peau à peau.
Yeah.
Peau à peau.
And that's just, that one, what we needed a much more romantic finish town. Even that one didn't get much out of me. But for the last month, that's been one of the highlights of my day, is hearing these French people pronounce their towns. As has been the case each and every day for the last month. Today's show presented to you by Ketone IQ, of course, made by HVMN. HVMN launched the world's first drinkable ketone in 2017. Ketone IQ is their latest innovation on ketones with improved effectiveness, taste, and cost. Ketone IQ delivers clean fuel that can cross the blood-brain barrier, supplying your brain and body sustained energy, mental focus, and sharpness. We have an extra large jug next to me for Allie, because after today's show, we're going to go ride Independence Pass. She's already whining a little, but we got to... how would you like it? You like it? How cold you want it? Just let me know. I'll get it. I don't want any excuses out of you.
All right, no excuses.
By the way, Ketone IQ is also available in all Sprouts throughout the United States. You can save 30% off your first subscription order of Ketone IQ at hvmn.com/themove. Again, that's hvmn.com/themove. Also today brought to you by
Wahoo!
Yes, Wahoo. That's right. Thank you, Allie. And a couple of years ago, Wahoo bought Speedplay, and this sort of postdates my time of converting to Speedplay pedals. I switched over 10 or 11 years ago when I was doing tries. It's been my go-to pedal ever since. They've got the Speedplay Aero, which is proven to help you save minutes across a Gran Fondo, which, by the way, I never knew that. I switched because I was concerned about transitioning from the bike to the run, but I didn't know I was gaining all this time. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, they have an Aero pedal, which we talk about how on Speedplay you can clip in on either side.
Right.
But they have an Aero plate and a one-side clip-in that literally saves so much time in time trial. So guaranteeing riders that are sponsored by Wahoo, today in the stage we're using the Wahoo Aero pedal to save those just little seconds and those marginal gains.
Yeah, maybe you'll need it for the descent of the pass today. They also have the PowerLink pedal if you're interested in getting your power. Special offer for our listeners. If you head on over to wahoofitness.com/themove. And by the way, today's the last day. 20% off all full price products during the tour, which, by the way, like I just said, is today, last day. Code over there is the move at wahoofitness.com/themove. Well, wow. SD-Worx 1, 2, 3. Marion Rooser gets the win.
Sure.
Without a doubt. I mean, she
Marlen.
was... Marlen.
Marlen Reusser, yes.
Marlen. I was confused. I always get confused because it's a little close to the lady who's the director. Of the race. Mm-hmm. Marion Rooser. So I my brain gets a little tweaked out. But anyways, dominant performance. And not even close. And then, of course, the team 1, 2, 3.
It was pretty unbelievable. I mean, we had been talking about having Marlen and Vollering up in the top couple, but never would have imagined Kopecky would be there in third.
There's nothing Kopecky can't do, we've just discovered.
Right.
So SD-Worx, I guess it worked. They swept the podium, won the overall team, won the overall, won stages. I mean, something's working there.
We actually
SD-Worx.
I'm sure it has happened before, but
When?
When? Yeah, we need Spencer to chime in on this. When has there been a photo finish for a podium in a Grand Tour? So Niewiadoma and Lotte Kopecky tied on time, and so they had to go down. What was it? They came down to
0.21 seconds.
I mean, think about that. 8 days, how many kilometers or miles, how many corners, how many times you hit the brakes, how many decisions did you make? Even in today's time trial, like just think about one corner.
Well, and the fact that they were both like off the front too. I mean, they didn't always come in with a field sprint. So,
Right.
I mean, the fact that their attacks were exactly the same amount of made up time, it's crazy.
And we should ask Spencer on this though, but when has the green jersey finished second overall in a tour like this?
That's a great question. Mm-hmm. That's a great question. I mean, Sean Kelly, I think back in his the height of his career could win the Tour of Spain and could also win the points jersey, but that's obviously very different than the Tour. He probably did some pretty good tours. I don't think he didn't get second, but That's a great point. Just shows you what a what a badass performance by her.
What a versatile rider. I mean, classics rider, we know she's Belgian national champion in time trial and road race, but then to finish second overall in a time trial, still wearing that green jersey. Mm-hmm. Oh man, and she was more emotional than I've seen her. You know, I mean, she's a woman of few words. She had some tears exchanged with her family, lots of hugs with Demi. Demi almost fell over hugging her because they're both so exhausted from their time trial effort. And she got some dog snuggles from her family, so that was pretty cute.
I think it also goes to what Lance was talking about the other day with riding a little bit angry and having something to prove. Right. You know, I mean, she really wanted to show everybody that this wasn't a joke or anything. You know, she's legit, and she definitely showed it.
And the team, right? Mm-hmm. The team felt like they were slighted on that penalty. Of course, that was very controversial, not just in the cycling world, but with our audience. But at the end of the day, it didn't matter. I actually watched the time trial today on GCN, and they had y'all's friend who was on the moto behind Lotte Kopecky, and I don't know if you guys, you guys didn't even hang out with me this morning, but that's a whole separate.
We tried.
Y'all are like, you know what? We're gonna get enough of him riding up the pass. Like, let's just get a little space from him. But the lady behind her in the time trial said she said it was a thing of beauty. Like the way she was going around this course and nailing every corner, she said it was unbelievable.
Well, but I mean, I would have really liked to see that with Rooser too, because I mean, she obviously was even going faster than Kopecky, and we had seen in that corner, or not corner, but down after the descent, you know, that she got held up by the other team's car, which wasn't a car, it was a van. So, which I have questions about too, and you also.
Well, I think, look, if she's on SD-Worx, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to consider my theory on this. And if y'all watch the race, she did on that downhill catch the rider in front of her, which of course had a car behind her, which in this case was a minivan, which is it automatically looks odd. Yeah. But Marion Rooser's on SD-Worx, right? So you have to imagine. Obviously, the lead director is behind Demi. The second director is behind Kopecky. So and there's only so many cars and directors that can be out there. I mean, all of a sudden they're like, all right, look to a Soigneur, and they go, okay, Soigneur, you take the minivan and follow Marion Rooser. Like that's what happens. And when has a Soigneur been in a position like that where you're following a stage winner and on worldwide TV? Never. And so they're confused. They're like, holy shit, what's going on? I don't know what to do. Like, do I pull over?
But I thought that was the team car of the rider in front of her.
Right, but still, yeah, very good point. Yeah, I butchered that. But but probably the same situation.
I don't doubt that she probably didn't have, you know, the same support behind her that Demi and Lotte had. But my question is the people in front of her had to look at the start list and go, okay, Marlen's probably going to catch us. Right. And so that guy, whoever was driving the minivan, should have been paying attention to what was coming behind, especially at that point when, I mean, it was pretty obvious she was going to catch. And then you're on those like narrow roads on a descent. He needed to figure out, how do I get out of the way? Right. So my question is the organization, when you're looking at a list and you're thinking who's going to be winning this thing, they should have had an official ahead, making sure that the cars were pulled over by that point. Because it definitely held her up, not that it was going to make a difference of winning the race, but, you know, it would have been nice for her to be able to take it correctly.
She barely came out of the Aero bars. That was one of the only times she came out.
Was to yell at him, hand in the air.
Like, what are you doing? Like, could you please get out of the road?
Yeah.
But you're right. That is up to some sort of official to just on a moto or whatever say, listen, you got to pull over.
Can you imagine if that was you in a race? You'd have lost your mind.
No, I was chill. I was super chill in the races.
If somebody's slowing you up on a time trial.
But there's all these rules too, because if you overtake a rider in a time trial, the UCI rule is once you get overtaken, you're not supposed to overtake that rider ever again. And I even was watching a few riders coming in and like they're getting overtaken, they're getting into the slipstream, which I'm like, that's a time penalty. Like you can't, like once you get overtaken, you need to move outside, I think it's like 10 meters and get away from that wheel. And same thing with a car. Once you get in a certain amount of time, I'm not sure what the rule is, but the car needs to move because it's in the way, giving the rider that's going to overtake the next one a slipstream, but also it's extremely dangerous. And those roads were very small.
I'm curious who it was she passed. We'd have to go back and look.
It was a UAE rider.
So,
and that it was a van was strange too, because they have rules on the size of a vehicle that can be behind the rider in front. And that van was awfully close to their rider in front. And it seemed to me that it was a strange call to allow a van in a time trial as a support car.
You know, the other thing I noticed is the women have adopted this. Maybe they did it first, but adopted this new radio position in the time trials. We saw it and when I saw it in this year's tour with both Vingegaard and Pogačar, they had their radios mounted in front. And I thought, well, that's strange. And then, of course, all the other propeller heads on the team here said, no, that's, you know, and they wrap them in a bunch of tape and they make them a lot bulkier just to, and if you all notice that, really just to fill the point is when you're out on the aero bars, you've got your elbows as narrow as you can, your shoulders down, just to fill that void and clean up that air as it's, obviously this is stuff they've...
like a reverse fairing.
Let's get in the wind tunnel, and what if we wrapped up the radio and put it in front? But that's it's a thing.
Yeah.
So
I've spent a lot of time in wind tunnels, and it's something about kind of closing that chest cavity.
Yep.
Where sometimes like it's better for people to have narrow arms. Other times it's better to wider, so your chest can help close that dirty air that's coming up. So you're just trying to be as slipstream as possible into the turbulence of air. And so we test that out. I mean, I tested it out in gravel even. Where do I put my Camelback? Where do you put your like how?
Really?
Yeah. No, I've done the wind tunnel there at Specialized, and we to see how aero you can be on a gravel bike, where it's hilarious because you got like snack bags on your bike. Right. So, I mean, can you imagine the level that these athletes, SD-Worx, so using the wind tunnel that they have access to, and closing that chest cavity to try not to cause all that air to come up. So it's even where you're putting your computer monitor, using those speed play aero pedals.
Yep.
There's lots of ways you can do it. And those neck gaiters are something special.
how did the bottle of bourbon do when you were in there testing, for the post?
I did. I actually did. I have a photo of it.
See, I haven't seen the photo, but I had a feeling.
We tried a flask and we taped it into the aero bars of a gravel bike, which I refused to do because I've time trialed enough of my day and I don't want to be in aero bars ever again. But we did a flask in between the bars. We put like a whole whiskey in the back, like in a Camelback. We tried it, and I literally do have photos of that. If you pinged me that, I would have.
I'm sure.
I would have had to post that.
Well, we got to spend some time talking about Annemiek van Vleuten because she's had such a wonderful career. We'll get to that in just a second. But before we do, today's show also brought to you by AG1, the daily foundational nutrition supplement that supports whole body health. I drink it literally every day. I gave it a try because I was sick of taking a bunch of vitamins and supplements and just pill after pill after pill. And I wanted a solution that supports my entire body and covers my nutritional basis every single day. I wanted better gut health, a boost in energy, immune system support, and I wanted a supplement that actually tasted great. And at the end of the day, I wanted to take control of my health, and I got to do it all for less than $3 a day. By the way, 75 high-quality ingredients that give you all these key daily nutrients and support all these cool things like energy, focus, strength, and clarity. Hello. If a comprehensive solution is what you need from your supplement routine, then try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 10 free AG1 travel packs. Head on over to drinkag1.com/themove. One more time, that's drinkag1.com/themove.
Yeah, and we also appreciate our new sponsor for the show, OneSkin. So we spent a lot of time outside riding our bikes. We're in the sun a lot, and
Yes.
we are looking to take the best care of our skin as possible. And being a science dork and apparently a wind tunnel dork as well, especially always applauding females in those sciences. OneSkin is founded by a team of 4 female PhD level scientists with over 15 years of studying the biology of skin and aging. So they tested thousands of peptides and finally found a really awesome product, the peptide OS1, and they have a flagship product called OS1 Face. And it's clinically validated to improve your skin health. Mari, Lance, I think we even sent George some to try out to see if we can keep him as youthful as ever. And we're just really excited to have them support the show.
Yeah, I mean, I've really enjoyed using the product while we've been here in Aspen, especially because of the such dry air. And my skin's been feeling super hydrated, which is very strange for being at altitude now for almost 10 days or so. So yeah, I've been enjoying using it. Totally simple.
Good.
And makes it easy.
Yeah. And you always look beautiful, but I mean,
Oh God.
But OneSkin is for everyone that wants to prevent or reverse the signs of aging with a groundbreaking approach. It addresses skin health at the molecular level. It's very fancy. Targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time for you to experience a new skin health routine at a discounted rate. Get 15% off with the code FEMMES, at oneskin.co. That's 15% off, oneskin.co, with the code FEMMES, FEMMES. We only have one body, one skin, and you can choose to make it better. So just let's be better every day.
Let's do it. Well, speaking of better, Annemiek van Vleuten, hard to imagine that anybody has ever had you maybe Jeannie Longo, but who's ever had a career as great as hers, to see her go out for her final tour, not herself, and she said as such, only 14th in today's time trial and slipped to fourth on the podium. But what a career. I mean, 100 plus pro victories. Yeah.
Well, I mean, she said it in her, post-race interview, how she wasn't feeling like herself the last couple of days. And we saw it on the Tourmalet where we were expecting her to be full on attacking, and she was just basically holding on. So we knew she wasn't riding to her normal level. And in the time trial today, she just didn't have it, which was so hard to watch, because I really wanted to see that battle between her and, Demi.
And all the way, and three of them. I mean, they were all duking it out for the podium.
Yeah.
We actually have the interview. If we can play that right quick.
Annemiek, your last Grand Tour done and dusted. What emotions are you feeling right now?
Yeah, of course, disappointment that I was not good the last 2 days.
But you must be happy, you've had so much success in this race last year, come back, battle again.
Yeah, I was in the battle and I gave it my all. I didn't make any mistake that I can think that that was not smart or that I did something wrong. So I don't know what happened. I was obviously not myself I can be. And that's a bit sad, your last Tour de France. But I don't know what better.
Did you expect more today?
No, when I did wake up this morning, I already felt that. Yesterday evening I felt already like, I will be sick this morning. I was not really sick. I didn't have temperature that was higher, so I felt like I'll give it a go. You never know, but I knew already that, it was yesterday. How I was riding on the Tourmalet, I think people that watch more women cycling know that that is not my level I normally can have.
So a little bit of disappointment ending this race, would you say?
Yeah, huge disappointment. For myself, for my own performance, but not for the team performances. That makes super nice that we can share the win of Liana and Emma, and beautiful 2 wins out of 8 stages. So thank you.
And then that's what we said yesterday. I mean, this thing was just trending. I mean, she said it best herself, but it was just trending the wrong way for her, right? If you look at the other girls and going into this time trial, she just wasn't herself.
Yeah. It makes me wonder about leading into the World Championships. We were talking about, well, is she going to be riding the time trial or not? But I would expect her to regroup and have a pretty good one.
Well, she doesn't have long.
No, yeah.
A couple of weeks. Tops.
Yeah, Mari and I were doing some research on that. And the men's race World Championships is quite a bit before the women, like a week difference, which usually they're...
Which typically they're a day apart.
Yeah, the day apart.
Well, the road race.
The
time trials are very close, the men's and women's, but...
We're thinking it's probably because Vuelta, something happens next.
Or just the fact that the women's tour finished full 8 days later.
Yes.
Just to give them some time.
Yeah. But somebody like Kopecky, who specializes in everything, world champion on the track already in the Madison, Omnium, and so she has to start track racing in T-minus 4 or 5 days.
Something tells me it's going to be okay. I mean, I think that, as she called herself, because she was wearing the green jersey, the Hulk, she was naming herself. I think the Hulk's going to be all right. By the way, I don't want to be the one guy that says, but just for the record, she called herself the Hulk.
It's really cute. It's her on the top. She's like, the Hulk can climb. And I think, she's in the green jersey. She's going to be extremely motivated. She obviously knows how to recover. And those track efforts are spicy, but they're also short. So it's a lot of time indoors, but hopefully she can recover. Like Chloe Dygert's done that as well, perform well at World Championships, both on the track and the road. Kopecky's also done that before. She was world champion on the track and then goes and gets second at the road race. So this is not new territory for our Kopecky effect.
Well, but it's very unusual to have the World Championships of both in such a short period of time, right after a huge stage race like the women's Tour de France.
And it's interesting, and we have talked quite a bit about the World Championships that are coming up any day now. It is probably, we haven't really given the backstory, because this was new information for me just as of a month ago. So the head of the UCI, David Leparchien, had this idea, which I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think many of his ideas are very good, but I actually think this idea is okay. To combine, and I don't know if this is a thing going forward, but certainly for this year in Glasgow, to combine all events, and they're dubbing it the Super World. So we're talking track, mountain bike, the road, BMX, all in one place, all in Glasgow. And as I read, it is the largest sporting event ever held in Glasgow, which is, I mean, you got to imagine they've done some, I don't know, some big things, but that's, but to have everybody there, all the disciplines, all the stars, I think it's a good idea.
Super Worlds. It's going to be awesome.
Super Worlds.
It's going to be awesome.
Nice job, Mr. Leparshian.
We wanted to give a shout out to, obviously, SD-Worx was best team overall, which we've discussed.
Duh.
But the most aggressive rider of the tour is Yara Kastelein. Well-deserved.
Yep.
She actually crossed more QOMs than anyone else in the tour. I mean, I think first place on QOMs, and she won that beautiful stage. Really fantastic ride from her. And our best young rider, born in 2001, Cédrine Carbol. She's actually from Pau. So she got, and she's the French national champion. So to do a time trial, I don't think she had the best time trial of her life today, but she was able to hang on to her best young rider jersey and perform in front of her home crowds, which I think is really
awesome.
special.
She's having the best post-race party.
Yeah.
Most importantly, she knows where to go. Everybody's drafting off her tonight. Like, hey,
what's the drinking age in France, though? Because I don't know how old she is.
Well, we can do that math. She's old enough.
She's old enough.
I can do that math.
And we're not playing the interview, but we did get to see the beautiful podium presentation. Demi has a lot of emotion in it. She's crying. Beautiful podium. Kasia is probably one of the most loved riders in the peloton. They were saying she has no enemies. She's just a gorgeous human being inside and out. And she's just genuinely happy to be up there. And so I wore my girl power onesie today to celebrate, and you can't really see it, but it's got the girl power onesie. And it was actually a one-piece swimsuit I bought in Walmart in Emporia, Kansas.
The backstory.
Right before the Unbound 200. But Demi was saying what she hopes to see is to get more women and girls on bikes if you can see it to believe it. And so she's hoping that her performance and every other rider at this Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift encourages more women, girls, and really just anybody to get on 2 wheels, 3 wheels, 4-wheelers, whatever you need to do to get out and move.
I've been loving seeing all the stuff on Instagram with the pictures of all the little girls at the race starts and, just watching and trying to get autographs and having signs and riding their bikes. It's been really special. And it shows you kind of hopefully what we're going to see in the future. These little girls now have heroes and they're going to be able to start emulating them. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's girl power all the way, And so I thought it was really cool. And also seeing riders like Voss yesterday headed to the start line before, unfortunately, she DNF, but she's taking the time to sign jerseys for her young fans. And Annemiek even left the team bus today before time trial, still was giving time to take a photo and hug. And you know how focused you want to be before that, but the willingness of these athletes to interact with their fans, to really inspire the next generation, I find one of the most beautiful things about women's cycling. Not only is the racing beautiful, really aggressive as we saw, can be very surprising, but the access that these athletes give to their fans, because how much it means to watch the FOM, which we are talking about, but how much it means the more people watch the FOM, the more women win. And so I feel like these athletes are beyond generous with their time. All our listeners here on The Move too, thank you for tuning in, because this is how we build success and make a viable, beautiful sport, and more of these Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift and bigger, better races, more women on bikes in the future.
And I'm curious to see. I know I don't know if I had the data last year before we wrapped up, but I know the ASO last year, I think I might have got it after the race was done. The TV numbers that they saw, not just in France but worldwide, were, I mean, when I say far exceeded their expectations, I mean really, really exceeded their expectations. So, I'm assuming.
Girl power.
I thought it was a great look. If it's a boring race, we know what that does to ratings, and I thought this was a great race. And so I'm curious to see how the numbers did.
This outfit might actually work for the Barbie movie later when Court and I go.
Are y'all going today?
Probably should.
What time is the movie, so we know how fast we have to ride up the pass?
I wanted to give an extra shout out to Kate Barano, who's the head of women's sports marketing at Zwift, and she's been on the podium every day giving the jersey. And her outfits are full send Zwift colors. Like, I'm talking sparkly pinks and yellows, and she's done so much in this sport. So to be able to see her at the tour and the investment that they've put into the women's Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift is huge, and she's done a lot. And to represent up there on that podium.
By the way, because I was looking at the schedule for the Super Worlds, and I named all these disciplines, right? The road, the track, the mountain bike, BMX. They also have indoor. at the Super World. So more kudos to Zwift.
Yeah, you can hop on your Wahoo probably there, and you're a kicker.
All right, we'll end this year's coverage of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift with a couple comments.
Oh no, he keeps these as a surprise. And
I keep these to myself. If y'all
makes
are
us
just
very
listening,
nervous.
Mari's trying to.
I'm trying to like peek over there.
Well, you know what? Allie, Mari, and Lance, and the entire We Do team, producers, the head of HR, Courtney, you got a shout out, and soigneurs, mechanics, drivers. I didn't realize we had soigneurs. This is this, by the way, is from Jane. Jane.
Blaze might count as that. I'm not sure.
And Liz.
Thank you so much for an enjoyable and informative podcast. I download and listen daily while I'm out for my rides. Allie and Mari are, of course, highly knowledgeable and insightful. I love Allie's rider backstories, as many of your other listeners have also commented on. Mari's vast experience in the peloton and as a director sportif bring insider knowledge that I love. So, of course, the ladies are outstanding. However, and not to take anything away at all from Allie and Mari and what they bring to the table, I would like to nominate Lance for a boomstick for being such an enthusiastic and respectful supporter of women's cycling and women's sports.
Yes.
Without the platform of the Move and support of your We Do team, listeners like me would struggle to find such excellent commentary and insight. I hope that you're able to continue for years to come. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. And thank you, everyone. That comes from Jane. So, Jane, thank you. That's very sweet.
That was really nice. I'm going to hand the boomstick to Lance, and I know he's really scared when I hold this, so it's going to.
Yeah, get it.
Do I need?
You are done with this for this year.
Congratulations.
But that's sweet, and I gotta say, it's you know, I have great teammates and we do a great job before the show taking notes. But I get into it, like I really do. It's I wasn't sure. I was like, how? Because you get tired. Look, at 3 weeks of watching dudes race bikes, I'm like, all right. But it's and it was the same last year. I was like, this is rad.
I have to agree with him about being thankful, though, for you giving us the platform to talk about women's racing. Because I think when you first did this last year, I thought, wow, what an opportunity. And, you know, he's so supportive of women athletes. But you've really become like a real advocate for women. And it's amazing. I love it.
Well, there's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot. But it's, you know, it's been awesome. And I just am so thankful for the opportunity and also the fact that, you know, you've just turned into this amazing advocate for us. And it's great.
It's easy to do. It's easy.
Lancey Pants has become a fangirl.
That's right. Fanboy. This one's from Bill Martinez 2253. Great show. I don't think I would be watching the ladies tour if it wasn't for your show and be missing amazing racing like today's epic stage. Thanks, LA and ladies. That's y'all. Yeah. Thank you, Bill.
And the women racing. Thanks for them.
and here we go. Oh boy. Mitchell Every 9608. That's these names. I don't know. It says, I'm working in a liquor store. Lance, you're the best. I love the female interaction on this show. To me, it's better than the regular tour. You all keep up the great work. And last one, this just has to be, this is a perfect one for the last comment of the 2023 Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift. From Mario Dalla Riva. Cycling legs on the table? Cheered up my day. Thanks, Allie.
Yes. Yes, now's my time.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. One last time before this table goes away. You know we're done when you're like walk into the studio, all the trucks are pulled up, all the, like the doors are practically open. I was like, oh, these boys are ready to break down the set.
I'm here to party.
What's new? We can party at the Worlds. Anyways, it's been a pleasure. Ladies, thank you so much. I thought it was a hell of a race. I had fun.
It's been amazing.
Yeah. We're going to race up the pass.
Now we're going up the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thanks again, everyone. Remember, watch the FOM. Women's sports having an excellent moment, making it a movement, and please keep tuning in. And thanks again, Lance and team.
And one final time.
All right, here we go.
Bye.
Bye.